Hi Aries, welcome back to Key Wisdom Tarot. My name is Ruth and I'm your Reiki Master and Tarot Reader, and this, Aries, is your healing intuitive reading for the time between the 25th of July and the 8th of August. So this reading does include a distant Reiki healing session for you guys as well, which will be activated during this video. I've done an extra little video explaining about the Reiki, and you can obviously check that out. Some of you would have watched that video before you're watching this video. Okay, my darlings, I've shuffled and meditated. I'm going to draw some cards. The first draw is going to represent this last week of July, and the second row represent the first week of August. We'll also look at some key energies and outcomes for this time period. I've shuffled and meditated. I'll do a little bit more, and then we'll get started on your reading. Okay, Aries, that's tiny scratching. Tiny, lie down. Good boy. I've been preparing this reading for about an hour, so over an hour. And so it's definitely ready to come out. You've been waiting patiently, Aries. Okay, my darlings, card at the base of the reading is the Three of Cups. The card at the base of the reading is the overall energy of this next couple of weeks, or the perspective that you need to see the reading through. Three of Cups here. So threes are about your expansion and are actually linked to your third chakra, your solar plexus, which is linked to the sun. And that's about your truth, your expansion, behaving honestly and authentically, and being comfortable is the number three, and that chakra, being comfortable being you in the world. When we have the Three of Cups, it means that we're connecting emotionally to that. We're emotionally connecting to that side of us. So you're connecting to your truth, to your authenticity, and it's that in itself that's making you happy. Let me just tell you that coincides very beautifully with the astrology for this month, with exactly what's going on. It's Leo's birthday season now from the 22nd, and we've actually got we've got Mercury going direct and Jupiter going direct finally as well at the end of the month, so in the month of July. So as we see here, there's energy of we're getting over something. We're getting over something. We're overcoming something, and we're able to celebrate that. So this is really a time for you guys of celebration. Look at your first key energy, okay? Your key energy is kind of the energy that you can expect to experience over the next couple of weeks, and how you're going to basically feeling and what you're going to be facing. So we've got this energy of the Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles. That's not a Four of Pentacles. That's the Four of Wands, okay? And it's beautiful to see that we know this card. You've heard this card as referred to as a marriage card, but what this card really represents as it being number four is about your structures and your foundations, and those being in alignment with your truth, with yourself, with the truth of who you are, the things that you need in your life to be happy, the job, the car, the money, the boyfriend, the girlfriend, whatever it is, the four things that you need, the children, whatever it is that you need, the qualifications, whatever. You have these with the four. You have all those things with the Four of Wands, and it's a card of contentment. It's a card of you're contented because you are passionate about the things that you have in your life, and you've worked hard to get them. So this is a real energy, again coinciding with this energy of the Three of Cups here, of there's a sense of satisfaction that you're feeling, a sense of achievement, and a real sense that there's really things to be celebrated. You've achieved something, you've overcome something. So let's have a look then at some of the specifics, okay? So let's look first of all at this last week of July. So the first card we've got is the nine of wands. Why can't I say that word today? We've got the Eight of Cups, which has got a clarifying card as well. We've got the Queen of Cups, and we've got the Seven of Cups. So interesting, isn't it, how we have this really positive sun experience. And by that I mean externally there's a really positive experience. Externally people see you celebrating. Externally people can see the things that you've got in your life, and people can see that you're happy and that you're settled and you're secure. There's that sense of things externally. The only other thing though I will say is that the Three of Cups does say that where you are is where you're meant to be, and so you're on the right path, if you will. So even if some of you internally are feeling like this, feeling these struggles and these difficulties, the Three of Cups actually suggests or tells us that you're where you are meant to be right now. So even if there are any difficulties that you're facing, any struggles, any fears, this is what you're meant to be facing and what you need to face in order to overcome them. As I said at the beginning of the video, we're coming to the end of karmic cycles now. We've worked our way through. We're coming to the end of these karmic cycles, and we're beginning new phases based on things that we've learned this year. Okay, and for some of us, based on things that we've learned over the last 3 years. Okay, so let's have a look at this first card then. So we've got this first card here of the Nine of Wands. Wand energy is related to our life force, our ki, actually, our chi, or the thing that animates us, the things that makes us happy, our imagination, all of those areas. But it's also related to our fears as well, to our fears, the slights to our personalities, the slights to our self-esteem. We hold all those things in the same area, i.e. the second chakra, the sacral chakra, which is what the wand energy relates directly to. So we have this combination of things that we love and that we're passionate about, but also the things that we love and that we're passionate about and that we're excited about. They have a lot of fear for us. We worry, and we're afraid that they might not work out. We're afraid that things might go wrong. Now, what this is telling us, though, for you, is that this is something that you have within, that you've held on to something within, and that you're suddenly now starting to face up to the truth, the reality of the things that you've been holding on to. So the number 9 is related to the Hermit energy, which is about actively seeking to understand what's within. So it's now a case of you want to understand where those fears come from. That's what this card represents. You want to understand why you've been nervous about something, because for example, this could be like celebration of marriage, of relationships, for example, and it could be something that you realize that you've been afraid of, and it's now time for you to shine a light on those things and say and understand, why was I afraid of that? This is what this is how you seem to start, well, to end July, I should say. This is how you seem to end July, with this idea of I'm keen to look and to understand what it was I was afraid of, or what it is I am afraid of, what it is that stopped me, that's restricted me from going after the relationships, the job, the people, the things that I want in my life. There's no hiding from your truth and from your reality anymore. That actually mirrors a post that I've just written where Tiny gives you a message on my Instagram. It just, in fact, I'll post that video on here as well. It actually mirrors the message that I wrote actually beneath on that post about the things that we're going through. So as I said, I can see automatically that you guys are in alignment with the astrology. So you're actually wanting to understand. You're actually wanting to understand what has been holding me back. What have I been afraid of? This is you actively seeking to understand what's been restricting you. And actually, not only do you actively seek to understand that, but it seems that you actually walk away from those things. Now, we've got a Seven of Cups and an Eight of Cups and a Queen of Cups, and we've got a clarifier here. So it's interesting that we've got movement. Now, we know that number 8s represent karmic cycles, and we know that because, I always draw these little pictures on my... So if you look, this is a moon. That's the moon, the hieroglyph of a moon. And that's the hieroglyph... excuse me. That's the hieroglyph of a full moon. Where's the hieroglyph of a sun? Let me show you. This is the hieroglyph of a sun. So it's basically a circle with a dot in it. So if you think about those things and you put them one on top of the other, it actually forms the number 8. You know, you'd have a one on top of the other, 2 circles on top of each other. That forms the number 8. And this is why we talk about, this is the importance of karmic cycles. A karmic cycle is about the sun and the moon. It's about the combination between the sun and the moon. The sun being the external, the actions, the things that go on externally, their experiences that we have, the actions that we take, the things that we say. And the moon being our internal things, what we feel, what we understand, why we do the things that we do, what we understand because of the things we do, what we understand because of the things that have happened externally. And that's the sun and the moon, and that's why And that's the number 8, and that's a karmic cycle. So a karmic cycle is about those two things interacting with each other. Our actions externally, our life experiences, and understanding the impact that they have internally on our moon, on our feminine side, okay? And we go through experiences that sort of bring to light, that help those two things interact. That's what a number 8's about. And the 8 of Cups here is, we see on the image, it's about walking away from something. So again, it's about a recognition of something. It's about recognizing that there's emotions, heavy emotions that you've been holding, that you've been carrying, that have been around you. And it's about being that you've been going through a process, or that you're about to go through a process that helps you to see with the sun, that helps you to see that it's time to move on. It's time to understand how you've been feeling, and it's time to move away from those things towards something better. Now, again, look, here you're taking off the blindfold, and here you can see the barriers, the things that have stopped you and restricted you, and you felt the things that have restricted you, and it's time to walk away from them. So there's progress and there's movement. And then we get here the Queen of Cups. So it's looking like this week there's realizations coming through, because the queens all talk about realizations. The queens are all feminine, or all linked to the moon, and the moon, your moon, you've got a moon. I mean, I say it like it's something that you own, but it's something that you can point at. But it is something that you point at. It's your being, darling. It's your being, and your being is intuitive. Your being is feels deeply. We live on multiple levels of reality. I mean, I know that people think that only things that you see are real, but that's, I'm going to swear, bullshit. We all have dreams. You go to a scientist or to a doctor and say to a doctor or a scientist, what is a dream? Why do we have them? They won't be able to answer those questions, but we all have them. We all know they're real. So what, are dreams not real? Because why? Because no one else can see it. Is it not real? We live on multiple levels of reality. And the queen energy, or the queens, or our feminine energy, whether you're a man or a woman, or however you identify, we've all got that part of us. We all have that part of us. This known unknown. We all have that part of us, and this is the Queen. And the Queens are all about, when it comes to the Queen of Cups here, it's about your emotions. It's about understanding your emotions, understanding the truth of your feelings. And this is what this card represents: understanding the truth of your feelings. And it can represent an individual. We're not looking at individuals, but if it was to represent an individual, it would be Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. So this could indicate, I don't like to do predictions like that, but it could indicate, relationship stuff, people walking away from relationships, or getting over heavy relationships, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not going to bore you with that. You can see that for yourself. The energy that you're going to experience is this realization of the truth of how you feel. How do I feel? Why do I feel this way? Why was I afraid? Why did I want this? Why did I walk away from that? This is the questions of the Queen of Cups. It's about you understanding and engaging with those things, okay? And again, that can lead to confusion, because we've got this energy of the 7 of Cups. Now, number 7 is my master number, and I know I'm very lucky to have that as a master number, aren't I? Oh my gosh, sorry. Before I talk about number 7, I forgot to do your clarifying card for the 8 of Cups. So it's interesting, isn't it? I said to you the 8 of Cups is about, we're trying to understand, you see the sun and the moon, you see what's been going on, you try to engage with that energy, and you realise there's things you need to walk away from. This energy here, the Page of Swords, is the discernment. This energy, people call it the Stalker card. That's a shorthand. The reason it's called the Stalker card, and maybe they don't even know why they call it the Stalker card, but the reason they called it, or refers to it as a Stalker card, is because traditionally this is the energy, or this dude is described as someone who's detail oriented, seeking out information, a good negotiator, good at speaking to people, good at finding things out. This is why they now call it the Stalker card, because obviously finding things out, looking for information, looking for details, get rid of all that information, stalker. But this is this information. This is what you do. This is the energy that you're feeling, and it's active, remember, because it's masculine. So it's active. So it's you actively seeking to, similar to here, number 9, understand why you think something. Understand, and this is you, understand why you think something, why you felt something, why you wanted that, why you held on to that. There's activity going on here, because, as I said, the energy for having these new karmic cycles, these new experiences, and actually not just having new experiences, we are building on what we've learned. And that's what this next few months is about now. We're building on what we have learned. So this is you trying to work out, well, what have I learned? Well, what do I know? Well, what do I realize? Well, how am I different? Well, what did that teach me? This is you trying to figure that out. Well, what do I really want? Is this really the truth of what I'm after? You know, is this security the type of security that I have been aiming for? And remember, whatever the answer to your questions, where you are now is exactly where you're meant to be. This card, look, I mean, we've got this brand new beginning here. I didn't know this was going to be there, obviously. We've got this brand new beginning with the full card, but this is where you're meant to be. So even if there's any intensity, the energy's lightening up, and the Reiki that you'll receive through this reading, by the way, it's been activated immediately in your reading, to be fair. The Reiki that you will receive, and as I said, watch the video. If you're not sure how to receive your Reiki, blah, 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 watch the video, the Reiki video. But the Reiki that you will receive will help you to clear out some of these last little bits. This is the last little push that we have now before we're ready to build. So any confusion that you're feeling, any worries that you're feeling, any concerns, any intensity, any anxiety, good, because you're meant to be feeling that right now. Good, because it's that's going to help you to excavate. It's that's going to help you to release. And it's that's going to help you to walk away from the confusion. Now, number 7, as I was going to say, is my master number. And number 7 is the number of mystery. Oh, tiny hello, munchkin. Number 7 is the number of mystery. Number 7 is about, and what we mean by that is understanding why. That's basically what number 7 means, understanding why. So that means that my life, and it truly is actually, my life is about understanding why, and it really is. Why do we do the things that we do? Why do we say the things that we say? Why do we act the way that we act? And, you know, why did that hurt me the way that it did, etc., etc. And these are the similar questions for you, but in regard to, with regard to your emotions. So this is about how you felt, how you've been feeling, what you want, what you desire, and the confusion surrounding that. But it's not just about confusion. It's about this last week of July is about trying to understand why. And you get to a point where you do understand, it seems. You get to a point that you do understand, because we know that with the Queen of Cups. So we can feel, this can feel sluggish, this energy. It can feel quite slow, like you're not able to make a decision, like you're not sure why. And it can be quite of a, imagine, you know, holding your head in your hands and, you know, going, ah, it's that. Is that a good description? Is that a good, I think that's a good description. Anyway, it's that type of energy. It feels frustratingly sluggish, come the 7 of Cups. But as I said, good, this is where you're meant to be. I ain't stressing for you. You shouldn't be stressing. And the Reiki will help to clear some of this energy for you as well. Okay, so engage with it. Just engage with it this week. You know, don't fear it. Engage with it, because it's where you're meant to be, and it's leading you to healing anyway, to a new foundation, as I said, based on the things that you've learned. So let's have a look now at August. Okay, so the first one for August, we've got this 5 of, you know, unsurprising. We've got the 5 of Wands, the Knight of Swords. Oh my gosh, I shudder when I see this card, because the physical experience of this energy is intense. You probably won't engage with that, but I do. That's just how I live, as I said, as a Reiki master. So that's how it works for me. And finally, we've got the Hermit energy. So we start with the 9 and we end with the 9, even though we've got this outcome. So interestingly, as I said, I'm not surprised to see this energy of the 5 of Wands, because what does 5 represent? As you know, it represents change, doesn't it? And you know, as I said, we're building new foundations now. We're building new foundations now. Now, when we get to we've got the number 4 here, so let me just talk about that. The number 4 is like, this is everything you wanted. This is all the things that you want. These are the things that, the structure, the security that you wanted in your life. And then comes this element of, but is it really what I want? Now, any person who's ever, I mean, I'm not one of these people. I've never been married, and I've been, you know, that's been a discussion in one of my relationships, and this is what happened. So I was feeling like this. I was like, oh my God, like, this is a guy, yeah. And then it was like, okay, let's move in together. And then it was like that. I was like, is this really what I want? Like, why do I really want this? Like, is this really, and obviously, you know, fast forward a few years, I ain't married, am I? So it wasn't really what I wanted. This is what happens with the 4 and the 5 of this is what happens with the 5 of Wands. Okay, so we have the things that we want. We have them. We've achieved them, And then starts coming these from within you. They come from within, this bubbles within you, this feeling, these questions. You know, the things that you might have to change in order to sustain that, and the things that you might have to change about yourself in order to create the life that you want, and the things that might have to give in order to bring things through, blah blah blah. So we have this type of energy whenever we have, and I've not seen the death card yet, but it would have been a nice card to see, because it's that type of transformation that we've all been going through. That transformation of, as I said, huge thing, ideas about ourselves, about yourself that you've held for so long, about a particular job or a particular person or whatever. You've held those ideas for so long, and now you feel different, and now you're starting to change. And that's something that percolates within you, and then suddenly it starts to seep into the outside world. It starts to seep into your actions. So this is this energy here. You're being questioned, you're questioning, and we can see from July, this is why I'm saying I'm not surprised we get this, because change is actually coming through. You're actually, coming into realizations of the truth of, I was afraid about the marriage, or I was afraid about commitment, or whatever it is you're afraid of. You've been afraid of work, whatever it is. About examining, looking at, okay, why am I afraid of that? Why am I anxious about that? Is it because, and this card indicates something in the past has happened. So you've had a similar experience in the past, with the Nine of Wands, a similar relationship or a similar job or a similar situation with a friend or a similar argument, whatever it is. And now you are afraid. You're in a new situation, but that situation is churning up old stuff from the past. That's basically what these cards are showing us. So the stuff that's being churned up, the old stuff from the past being churned up, it's finally time to release that stuff. It's finally time to release it when we see these energies here. And this is the ignition of that. This card, the Five of Wands. It's kind of the ignition of making those changes, of seeing through the changes. The awareness brings change. Knowing how you really felt, knowing how someone made you feel in the past and how that affects you now in the future, how that affects you currently. That information, that awareness brings about change. And that can be in any area of your life. So you'll have to apply it to your specific life. And you're graduating. So you went from the Page of Swords to the Knight of Swords. This dude, let me show you something. I wrote about I've still not uploaded this video, but I wrote about it a long time ago. And, hang on a second. Let's get the good stuff here. Can't find it. Oh, there's some good stuff here, actually. The Knight. I wrote about this dude, the Knight of Swords, because he's intense. Knights, here, look. Now, the Knights are reaching and expanding your boundaries. Right, there we go. Yeah. Okay, so I said about the Knights, and the reason I refer to this is because I can't explain how intense his energy is, and I don't want to connect to him, this dude, because he's like, whoa, man, he's like intense for me. So let me just try to do that. Okay. So the Knights, our instincts is to hold on to what we know when we have the Knights. So with the Knights, it's this change is coming through. We've got new frontiers, new places we want to go to, new conversations we want to have, and new actions we want to take. And new things we want to say. And our instinct though is to hold on, which is similar to this one actually, is to hold on to what we've been doing, to what we've known. But you just have to go, you just have to move with this energy. It's an outward energy, and it's moving into new territory. It's moving you into new territory. And the thing about that is that you've reached your limit of your understanding from before. You can't continue to live the same way you've been living now. And this energy is the energy that propels you forward. It makes you say stupid things and do stupid things just so you're not stuck where you were stuck before. Now, I say stupid because it's not stupid. As I said, it's exactly what you should say. It's exactly what you should do. It might seem rash. It doesn't matter that it seems rash. You can't stop yourself. With this energy, you can't stop yourself. You can't control that aspect of yourself, because that's what meant to happen. You're meant to say that comment. You're meant to have that conversation. You're meant to send that text message. You're meant to do it because you're in a new place now. You're in a new body now. You're in new energy now. And you have to feel what that's like. You have to feel what those, you have to find those new boundaries. So you have to respond to the energy of the Knights. And that it's a sign of growing. It's a sign of maturity. You're growing in maturity. Even if people think, oh, it's not mature, you are. You're pushing through established boundaries and you're learning new things. You're opening up new channels. You're allowing new energy to come through. And you just have to have the experience. You just have to feel it. And that's what it's going to be like for you. Look, we've got these new cards. Look, we've got Page of Wands now. Incidentally, the Knight of Swords is related to our communication. It's related to the Earth signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and it's related to our communication. It's related to our fifth chakra, which is our throat chakra, okay, which is obviously about communication, how we communicate, what we say, but also how we think and our consciousness. So our mind and our thoughts, okay, our clarity on our consciousness. And this is why it can come out garbled. It's just like blurting things out or saying it and not sure what the reaction is going to be. But it doesn't matter what the reaction is because, as I said, you're meant to. You're in the energy of you just have to do it with the Knights. And so you just have to do it. And as I said, sorry, I keep hitting this, it's annoying me as well. You are where you're meant to be. We know that with the Three of Cups. So go with that energy. Page of Wands, we've got this energy again. Another we're not as mature as the kings and the queens at this point. We don't know the outcomes of our actions, but we feel the impetus to move, we feel the impetus to go, and we not only feel it, but we respond to it. The masculine energies, so these are all masculine energies now, are about moving, are about taking action, are linked to the sun. Okay, and they're about taking action and moving forward. So moving it in a direction. So you might be pulling in two directions. You might be wanting to say something, but not wanting to do anything. But the energy is you are going to. But it's about understanding why as well. You have this energy here of, you're going to take action. You're going to move in a direction that in a way you can't stop yourself from saying it. In a way you can't stop yourself from doing it. But it's because because of July, and because you learned what you learned, because you know what you know, because you acknowledged what you acknowledged, because you reasoned what you reasoned, and you're in this, you end July in this sort of fog of like confusion of like, oh my God, like, is this really what I want? Or is this really what I wanted? Or is this what I really wanted to say? Or whatever it is for you as an individual. And it's like, but even those questions, even that, is that really what I wanted? Even not having an answer to that question brings about this, as I said, this percolation of movement, of action, of reaction, of trying to find out, of trying to understand your new boundaries, of trying to understand. And this is what you go into August with. You go into August with that energy of impetus of, oh my God, like, okay, right. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what I want. I'm not sure, but will you shut up? And you might shout at your boss, you might shout at your sister, you might shout at your husband or whoever, whatever. And that shout, that thing, is about trying to break the fog. It's about trying to break the confusion. It's about trying to anchor your feelings and your emotions and your consciousness. And you're trying to anchor that. And that's fine. As I said, it's where you're meant to be. These time periods, these this is the thing when I always say to you guys, I have to experience the energy. I'm a Reiki master, I experience it. I don't say it as like as something just to say. I say it because it's like when you're in that energy and it's uncomfortable and you don't know and you want to shout and you're not sure and you're confused, I just have to be like that. And people will say to me, Ruth, what's wrong? And I'll say, I don't know, I'm confused, I'm angry, I'm frustrated, I'm annoyed. But other people who don't, and normal people, who live, in the 3D reality, will feel those things. You won't feel this, but instead of saying, I don't know, I'm confused, I'm frustrated, you're doing me head in, leave me alone, I need space. Instead of saying that, you'll just shout at your boss or, have road rage, instead of actually engaging with the truth of what you feel. But actually what's happening now is we're engaging with the truth of what we're feeling. So these are masculine cards taking action. The Page, we don't know the outcome, but it's something that the energy is, you've got to do it. You feel the push, the motivation. You start to imagine the things in your head, what you're going to say, what's going to happen because you say this, what's going to happen if I said that. This is this energy of the Page of Wands. It's always a messenger though, so it's always something that brings about more positive action. It brings about more maturity in your actions, more decisiveness in your actions, by just allowing yourself to feel and engage with that energy, feel and engage with the fact that you know that you want to move. So what you're gonna go, and again, finally, we end up with a number 9. So we start with the number 9, as I said here, and we end with the number 9 here, of the Hermit energy. This is Virgo's energy. Virgo and this Page of Swords have got something in common, because it's about the diligence and the fastidiousness and the looking for the detail, the trying to understand. And with this energy here, it's you actively understanding. And not only that, taking time out. So this might be you deciding to, right, I ain't speaking to him. I'm not speaking to her. I ain't going to work. I ain't doing that until I bloody get this. What the bloody hell's wrong with me? And as I said, I do that, when I'm going through these, when I'm experiencing these energies, I don't speak to people necessarily, I might have to sometimes. I do it sometimes where I'm going through this energy and I'm in this energy, right? And I know and I feel that I'm in this energy, and I live by myself. I only live with Tiny, so and I work at home, so I don't have to go out the house. I obviously do. I can walk the dog, but I don't have to. If I'm in this energy, I can stay at home. Now, what'll happen is I'll be in this energy for about 3 days, and I'll feel that I'm in this energy, and I'll know that something's changing. But I need to go and walk the dog, or I need to go to the supermarket, and so I do it. I go to the supermarket to buy some food, and I go to walk Tiny. And I'm driving my car, and I'm so annoyed because there's someone in front of me in the supermarket line, or there's someone, I don't know, I'm walking the dog, and all I want is peace and quiet, but there's another dog walker, and I'm always nice to dog walkers. I always chat to my dog walkers, so I don't want to freaking talk to you. And I feel that, why am I even here? And that's like you, so you will feel that energy. I do that, and I come home and I say, I went out 2 days too soon. I should have stayed at home for them 2 days instead of going out. I shouldn't have gone out yet. I should have waited. I've got enough milk. Blah, blah, blah. So you might have a similar thing, but so some of you with the Hermit energy might actively take time out, take time away. You might not answer your phone, or you might not reply to the message, or whatever it is, so that you could understand what it is you're experiencing. And the interesting thing is, I don't know what you're experiencing. I know the energy of what you're experiencing and the emotion of what you're experiencing, but the specifics of what you're facing, whether it's relationship, job, whatever, the decisions that you need to make, these decisions are karmic, in a sense that whatever the mundane, i.e. the day-to-day situations, I don't mean mundane as in boring, I mean the day-to-day situations that you're experiencing as individuals, whether it's, as I said, related to work, job, family, whatever it's related to, your neighbours, whatever, the emotion and the key experiences in KI, the key experience is going to feel that way to you. Okay, so let's have a look at some outcomes. We've got the Emperor. So good. So do you see? This is what I'm saying to you. We're flanked. We've got 2 9s and we've got 2 4s. So this is good, isn't it? Your Reiki is definitely activated. It's activated in 3 different ways. You can check it out in the Reiki video, how to receive your Reiki. And I reckon you should definitely go for it, because I talk about in the Reiki, it's about the foundations, the final remnants of the old guard, of the old walls being taken down. And 4s are about our foundations and the structures in our lives, the things that our life is built on, the things that our identity is built on, or our job is built on, or our job satisfaction is built on, or our self-esteem is built on, or a relationship is built on. Whatever those things are built on, this is what these energies here represent. I'm looking for a little thing that I wrote about the Emperor. This is what number 4 represents, and the Emperor is a case of, the question the Emperor asks is what makes the reason, I should say, the Emperor is so confident and so strong and so solid and so capable, is because the Emperor asks the question, what makes me who I am? And not only does the Emperor ask the question, what makes me who I am, but the Emperor takes time out to find out an answer to that question, and understands the things that are within him, or, it doesn't have to be a him, but you know what I'm saying, understands the things that are within, understands the emotions that he's held, the fears, and understands not only the fears that he has, or the emotions that he has, but where those things originate, understanding the things that have caused you to feel this pain, this anxiety, this shame, this worry, understanding where those originate from. So even if you were in a relationship before, let me give an example. You were in a relationship, or you were married before, okay, and the marriage or the relationship didn't work out. It's 8 years later, it's 10 years later, you're in a relationship, you're married, or you're just about to get married, and and you're starting to feel doubts, and you don't understand, why am I feeling doubts? Why am I feeling doubts? And it's got nothing to do with your current partner, nothing at all. What you actually realise is that, oh my gosh, 8 years ago, 10 years ago, that douche who I was married to, or I was going to get married to, hurt me so badly, and I still feel the anxieties from that old relationship now today, and that's why it's causing me to fear, or to... That's in a nutshell, that's the journey of your next 2 weeks. And that thing that happened 8 years ago, 10 years ago, it can be different for everyone. It can be, but it's related to our roots. It's related to your family. Four is related to the fourth house, is related to family, to our roots, where we come from. So it could be something from your childhood, even something between your parents, whatever. But the Emperor asks the question and goes and finds out. So that means that by the end, so by August, this is how you're feeling. 8th of August, that first week of August, you're starting to feel, you're starting to feel confident, which tells me that you've asked the question and that you've understood the reasons, what makes you who you are, why you feel the way you felt, why you've been fearful, why you've been afraid, whatever it is for you as an individual, okay? So as I said right at the beginning, this is where you need to be. I definitely recommend to you, I mean, you guys definitely go for that Reiki, because you're so in line, in tune with the universal energy right now, with what's going on universally, i.e. with the planets, etc., with the astrology. You can read about that below. I talk about that, and I definitely talk about the eclipses below. You and the effect that they have on us, and you guys definitely see, or the people who this is resonating with, are definitely in alignment with that. So that means that for sure that Reiki is definitely going to help you. So definitely definitely enjoy your Reiki, and let me know in the comments how you found it. Okay, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and share it, far and wide with your friends, your family, on your WhatsApp, on your Facebook. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and don't forget to check out the pick a card readings and the key wisdom playlist for lots of little extras. And for those of you that follow Key Wisdom Tarot on Instagram and on Facebook, I will see you all very soon with some brand new posts, some very interesting posts actually about the origins of tarot, the word tarot, where that word comes from, what it actually means. And you can Google it and it'll tell you it's named after a river in Italy, but no, it's not the truth. Okay, so my darlings, I'll see you on Key Wisdom Tarot on Instagram and Facebook. I'm also going to do actually this month, or for August, a love reading. I've not done love readings for a long time, so I'll do love readings for each signs for August, so check those out. I'll see you all very soon. I love you all very much, Aries. Have a wonderful couple of weeks, and I'll see you all in August with your brand new readings. Take care, my darlings. Bye.